Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to this special episode where I'm going to tell you some stories, but they are not stories, it's the real incidents. Nowadays, you see many people posting MTM screenshots and they're showing some big profits, and this is the story is all about. There are people who have huge risk-taking ability. They can trade with huge quantities, and if you want to follow, what will happen? I'm just going to tell you a small story. This story I told you already, but that time my follower count was not so big. So now I'll tell you the story. One day I was going in a motorbike, going to a particular town. I do not know the way. So what I've seen, in front of me there was a bus going to the same town. So what I thought if I just simply follow the bus, I can reach that town. So happily I was following the bus. What has happened, at one particular place, there was a path hole. And because the path hole is just big, it can go in between the two tires of the bus. So what happened, bus went very fast without stopping. But I was following the bus from behind in the motorbike, not following one tire, the center. So when I moved fast, I fell into the pothole. So this is just a joke, not the real incident. But sometimes, I used to give this joke as, like you cannot follow somebody blindly. And recently, I've seen some traders taking position, 1 lakh quantity, 2 lakh quantity, straddle, strangle, intraday. And if you want to follow, let me tell you. What has happened in 2012, sometime in October I think, there was one freak trade. And let me explain how that freak trade happens. So there is something called basket. So one basket means you have to buy all the Nifty 50 stocks proportional to their weightage in the index. So right now, you want to buy one basket, it will cost approximately 70-80 lakh rupees. That's because, I don't want to waste so much time in explaining that basket. Maybe I'll come out with another video. So you want to buy one basket, it costs about 70-80 lakh rupees. So one FIA informed a dealer to sell, let us say, 1 crore shares. But that dealer misunderstood it as 1 crore basket. So he just sold 1 crore basket. So that means what? 1 crore into 70 lakhs. So all these numbers are illustrative purpose, but they are not the real numbers. So what has actually happened? Nifty crashed 15% within few seconds. And actually, Nifty falls below 10%, exchange will have to stop the trading. But before exchange realize that something has happened, it has already 15%. Everybody got panic, including the exchange. So they have just activated their surveillance system. So they found out that, from this particular computer, from this IP address only, this huge order has come. So that is the reason. So they found out, and then they informed them what has happened, why did you sell so much. So then they found out the mistake. The trader was asked to reverse the trade. And then market shot up 15% again. So 15% fall and 15% up. 15% fall happened within few seconds. What would have happened to the people who do 1 lakh quantity? And luckily those days nobody does this kind of volume in options. Now only the options have become crazy options, and everybody is doing, and everybody that too, most of the people who are doing, they are young people who have no good experience. And we have seen lots and lots of plus and minus. What happens if you are doing a huge volume, 1 lakh quantity, 2 lakh quantity, if the market suddenly falls 15%, your stop loss will not get triggered. Stop loss will jump. And then, that day, lots and lots of cash market investment people, they have nothing to worry. It fell 15%, recovered 15%. But somebody who has done short straddle, short strangle options, with a stop loss, intraday traders, so what would have happened to their position? And they have lost huge amount of money. exchange has realized that there is something wrong, and he was asked to reverse the trade, but the damage done is done and people have lost heavily in futures and options. So futures and options, by its nature, it's a very high risky instruments, and you must understand this. Not only this, I think sometimes in 2017 or 18, I don't remember exactly, that too on an expiry day. Expiry day, option prices are 50 to 100 rupees, very little. That too, that period of time, the volatility index was very low. What has happened? Suddenly 11 o'clock one news came, surgical strike. Our Indian soldiers entered into another country's territory in order to kill the terrorists. So what happened? Within few seconds, markets fell. In this kind of scenario, what happens? And all the stop loss will be hit. The worst thing, if there is a slightly bigger black swan event, stop loss will be jumping, and then your loss can be more than the capital. So just I was checking one trader, declaring 1 crore profit, but just a small check, the kind of volume that trader has done, it seems that his capital should be 30-40 crore, right? And who knows, because of a black swan event, even if that entire 30-40 crore is wiped out, he may be having some other backup of 50 crore, 100 crore, he can come and do the trading again. So what you see is only the MTM profit or loss, but behind that, so what is that person's financial ability, risk taking ability, and how much backup he has got, and so there are n number of things that will be working. Say for example, to me also, people always say I take huge risk, and to them I always tell, I have certain amount in stock market. So there are certain amounts outside the stock market also. Even if my stock market investment goes to zero, I still do not have to worry. I will be still able to survive. Not only able to survive, I can maintain the same standard of living. So I have so much of backup outside the stock market. Don't go and look only at the MTM screenshots, P&L, other things. At the end of the day, it is your money, your risk taking ability, your financial backup, and there are many other things. So otherwise, if you want to follow somebody blindly, it will become like motorbike wala following the bus wala. The risk comes, the bus wala can escape, but motorbike wala cannot escape. So hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.